Hello again and thanks for joining. So today we've got another model which I picked up at Model Rail Scotland, again from Ellis Clark. This is a Roco coach from the Swiss Railways in a really interesting livery. I think this is called the Parrot colour scheme. Something like that. This is a second-hand model which cost me £10, and I did actually look up that these are around about £40 new, so that's quite expensive for a coach. So let's see what this is all about. So what's really striking about this coach is obviously the colour scheme. It is quite an eye-catching one, and it's obviously been quite a challenge for Roco to get all these colours to work together. Let's start off at one of the ends of the coaches. You'll see as well this is actually quite a low-slung coach. I think it's a low-floor one. And it makes the coach look very kind of square in profile. You've got some lights here, as is normal with most European coaches, but there's no pickup off the track for this model, so these aren't illuminated. But they would offer you an opportunity to add LEDs if you wanted. We also have a window there on the connecting door, a kick-down plate, and obviously these parts here. The buffers are integral into the chassis, but this part is actually an extra piece that's been added in. The yellow stripe goes somewhat round the corner here, but this is where you start to see that there are some issues with masking, because this isn't actually that well masked off at this point. And also the consistency of the colour on this corner isn't too good either. You can see some of the grey coming through in the yellow. It's a difficult colour to get onto dark backgrounds, but they haven't done that well on this model. Looking down the side here, this looks as though we should have some handrails here which weren't included in this model. Very easy to add some little bits of wire in there if you wanted to, if it was missing from your one. And we have a door here which is a separate piece which is added in with the glazing in it. And you can see the glazing down the side of this carriage. Almost flush fit, but not exactly. You can see some of the window frame, but it has been painted in with these colours, so that's not too bad, I suppose. Here's a number 1 printed at the end of the carriage here, and some more printing down below. This destination board has had a little bit of a scratch and part of it is missing in the past, but you can see the little cycle icons on this door here have been really nicely applied, and there is also some rivet detail on these doors, so that's quite a nice thing. The yellow stripe going across the top seems to just get nicked a little bit on this over the door. Really nice icon with the no smoking there. And as we move further down the carriage, you can see the large SBB CFF FFS logo here. It does have a bit of sheen on the logo. It's not quite matte, so that could benefit possibly from some matte varnish put onto it. The windows are very clear, and you can see inside that we have an interior which is set out in a 3-1 configuration and done in grey plastic. As we move down to the other end of the carriage, there's a whole bunch of details here, including the running number. This is all very clear, and it's quite a nice transfer that's been added in there. Nothing different at this end of the carriage, so looking up on the roof, it's very plain, these ones, just these ribs running the whole length of the carriage, with these small hatches with some rivet detail at 2 points on the roof there. The bogies are really quite fine on this, and they've got some really nice brake detail and spring detail as well. The brakes are in line with the wheels, and the wheels are quite small. It's quite an impressive little bogie, that one, and it has a fair degree of movement as well. Couplings are here as well, and they cantilever along with the bogie, but they do have a little bit of movement separate to it as well. These are in NEM pockets as well, and these are typical kind of Roco Fleischmann couplings, with a little bit of a locker there as well. The underside of this coach is quite plain. It's got all these ribs and bracing and this pipework. It has this part here, an extra tank that's been added in with some pipework as well. It's very fine, that's an extra piece. And we have parts which are moulded into the main underframe here. And here we see the Roco made in Austria. So overall, a very colourful coach with some nice detail on it and some compromises, I think. Might be worth seeing how much this weighs. This coach weighs 161 grams. So this coach from Roco is quite a solid model, but I don't think it really screams of high quality. With a price of £40 new, I think that's rather steep for what you're getting here. However, that said, this is a really cool paint job, even if it hasn't been applied just absolutely perfectly on this one. And I have seen this model in other liveries as well. The bogies on this model are absolutely exceptional. I think they're the best part of it, and it's very free running as well. But I think for the high new price tag, I think this should have had flush fit glazing and possibly some pickup with LED lights on each end of this coach. It just feels as though it's maybe a little bit overpriced. I got this second hand for £10, and I think that's actually a really good price for this coach. But it's not necessarily the colour I would go for. It's a bit strange, I think, this combination, and I've seen better designs on coaches, but it's certainly quite eye-catching. Other manufacturers in Europe make European coaches. The most notable one, I think, is Pico, who do a lot of really good coaches on various liveries. This one's just kind of okay. So should you add it to your collection? I think if you're modelling Swiss railways, it could be a very interesting one to add. But if you're just doing a European railway, then not necessarily this one unless the colours particularly appeal to you. So let me know what you thought about my analysis of this coach in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think as well. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel grow. I'll put this on the turntable so you can see all the way around. And on screen in a moment there'll be a link to another video. If you click on that, I'll see you over there. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See ya.